Hello, I'm Greg Hoogeveen, and this is Nathan Rud, the head coach of the Luverne girls tennis team. And we'd like to welcome you here to the Pepsi Cola Gatorade studio here in downtown Luverne. Nathan, welcome.
Thank you, Greg.
And
Glad to be here.
Good. You are the head coach, obviously, of the girls' tennis team this year. How long have you been there?
I was just hired in July after John Beers retired.
Okay.
Announced his retirement last spring.
Okay. All right. And you also have been the boys' coach.
For 2 seasons now.
2 seasons, okay.
Yes. Yep.
All right. And going over this year's, or actually, let's go kind of your background. You've played tennis before then, obviously?
I played for Luverne under Dave Svingen in
Okay.
the late 70s.
Okay.
So that dates me a bit, but
That's okay.
that was only 3 coaches ago, though.
Right. I had Svingen back in the day, too, for a while. So we're not spring chickens, but we are seasoned. So, and as far as tennis, do you still play now?
Yeah, I've played my whole life, basically.
Okay.
I played quite a bit recreationally through
Yep.
college and then med school and residency, I guess.
Okay.
And then have played... I didn't play much for a period of time, but then once my girls got into middle school age,
Yep.
I took it up again with them,
Yep.
and that was a good 10, 12 years ago.
Okay. So for you, tennis is kind of a passion, obviously, and something that you wanted to be able to help with.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Yep.
And did they kind of approach you to help out at school here, or did you approach the school, or?
Well, that is an interesting story with the boys
Yep.
because the coach at the time, Lucas Larson, had resigned in June and moved elsewhere. And for months and months on end, no one knew anything about a tennis coach.
Okay.
And, I went to a boys' basketball game in mid-January, and I was just going to watch the game, and Mr. Oy was supervising the event, I guess.
Right.
And he caught me in the hallway and asked me if I'd be the boys' coach this spring.
Right.
So that's how it all started.
That's how it just a happen chance of meeting, and that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Well, we're glad that you did because
Well, I enjoy it. It's been fun.
Good. We got your background. This year, we'll talk about the girls here. How do you think the season went? You just got done with sections, both team and individual.
That's true. We lost the section championship this year to Morris, which is the team that Luverne had beaten last year for the section championship. So a reversal there. We did not advance anyone individually to the individual state tournament. And our final record was 11-7.
11-7. Okay.
So it was I hate to define a season by wins and losses. The girls learned a lot. Their tennis improved quite a bit, and everyone had a great time, I think. And
you could see that on their
experience.
faces, I think, even at sections that...
Everyone was sad that it ended.
Right,
Yeah.
but you could see that they were enjoying it, and I remember, Papik and Kent they won at least their first round,
Yes,
went to the second
individually, yep.
in the individuals. So
just to interrupt there.
Yeah.
That individual tournament, we had 4 entries, 2 singles and 2 doubles.
Yep.
And 3 of the 4 entries lost to a team that ended up first, second, or third out of the 16.
Yeah.
The only one that didn't was Addison, and she was a 12 seed facing a 5 seed, which was the number 1 singles girl from Pipestone, and she was our number 3 singles girl. And that turned out to be the match of the first round. It was 2 hours and 40 minutes, and you were there. And it went a full 3 sets, and she lost in the end. But it was really a good tennis and an excellent match.
Yeah, a lot of volley back and forth there, and 2.5 almost.
It was the last
3
match
hours
to
of
end
play.
of the 8 courts that had started at 8. Yeah.
I feel like from what I saw, they did a great job, and they have nothing to hang their head for. Going forward to starting the boys coming here in the spring again. Someone had asked me if they were going to join the 2 seasons. Is that something that was in?
I have not heard that. I would love for boys tennis to be in the fall, but they'd have to do it for the whole state. And,
Right.
It's just hard to compete with baseball and track for personnel with spring boys tennis.
Yeah.
But in high school, that was an issue for me too. I always wanted it in the fall then too. But I don't know. I would love to see that happen, but I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Let's see. This year too, on the girls' team, you had, was it 6 seniors?
We had 6 in the starting lineup, and the Caitlin Conger was a strong JV player, too. So there were 7 seniors total and 6 juniors on the team.
Right, and so next year too, you'll be down obviously the 6 seniors.
We will. That's a huge hole to fill.
Yes.
But we have 4 really good juniors coming back and 2 very good JV juniors coming back.
Right.
So we'll have a good nucleus there, and there are some good younger kids coming up. This year we played basically juniors and seniors on varsity, and next year there will be room for 3 or 4 younger kids, and there are some good ones coming up. It's going to depend on how hard they work in the summer, to determine who gets those final slots.
And is there a summer program kind of set up, or
there have Coach Beers has had a summer program for the girls the last few summers, 2 evenings a week, and we can, even though he had resigned in May. Between the 2 of us, we continued that through the summer, this last summer too.
Yeah,
so we plan to continue that. Yeah. That is what's nicer for the girls than the boys, I must say. With the boys, it starts end of March, just getting over winter. Yeah. And most of them haven't picked up a tennis racket since August or July. Where the girls can play all summer and then compete in the fall. Right. It's a much better setup.
Yeah. And the boys, you've kind of been down on numbers lately.
We've been down on numbers the last 2 seasons.
And looking forward to still one of those sports that just has boys not as interested, or is it just?
Part of it is just competing against high number sports, which is track and baseball that take a lot of boys to fill. And I don't know, during the COVID years, no one went out for tennis. And so there's a big hole for a couple grades there where there's just not any tennis players. This year, 7th graders are very strong on tennis, and both boys and girls. So I expect as many 7th graders on the team as high school kids this year.
Is that kind of, are other towns seeing that too, or is that kind of a Luverne thing?
Pipestone's in a similar situation to us.
Yeah, I would.
Other than that, I'm not so sure.
Right, okay. Some of these other places probably have facilities.
Well, I tell you, most of the other places are combined with 2 or 3 school districts.
Right, okay.
Pipestone and us are about the last 2 small schools that compete independently without big co-ops of towns.
Yeah. Well,
so part of that's a factor.
Right. Well, that's you got to deal with that too. The seniors again, I guess I just want to go over them again. We've got Papik.
Augusta Papik.
Jarko.
Katia Jarko. She's a junior.
Yep.
Emma Nath is the other singles senior.
Yep. And then Hansen, I believe.
Madison Hansen played third doubles for us.
And then
incidentally, since you brought her name up, she hit the shot that won us the section semifinals against Morris.
Okay.
Yep. That third doubles team lost the first set, won the second set, and it was 4-4 in the third set. And she had 3 or 4 winning shots for points in those last 2 games,
Yes.
including the final point that won the match.
Good.
Where she hit it by the net person down the alley for a winner.
Yeah.
So kudos to her.
Yes, I see that. And it's kind of interesting. It seems like tennis is one of those sports where they are self-regulated, or they can call.
Yeah, there's no referees.
There's
The
no
kids
referees.
have to do it themselves. Golf is like that also, and
Yeah.
that's about it.
Yeah. So
It's all
up to
on
them.
your honor.
Honor, yes.
And it has to be. You can't have a referee for every tennis court.
Right.
It just wouldn't
Yeah.
work.
Well, that's great. I hope that you guys continue building, and that you also keep on coaching too. I appreciate that. I know the girls do, and the fans. Again, this was a good year. Records, again, don't always tell the story, but it seemed like starting out too, and they start so early in the year compared to any other sport. And again, that reason is busing, or just getting the teams to be able to play, that they start that early?
I think you're speaking that we had 5 practices and then we had 7 matches in the second week.
Okay. Yeah.
And in basketball, you go 2-3 weeks before your first game.
Right.
Football, I think it's at the end of the third week they have a game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we had half our season done.
Yeah.
By the end of the second week.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was not ideal. It is. They do double headers before school starts,
Right.
and that's the reason for that.
Okay.
But it did make it tough coming in as a new coach to try and get things organized that quickly.
Right. Well,
yeah.
that is good. I'm glad.
And the only
that
other
you're
thing
doing
I wanted to say was, the kids had hopes for a 3rd section championship in a row, and we didn't get that this year. It really wasn't achievable. Monty was a good level above us throughout their lineup. And last year, that's the school that we had won against in the section championship. But the thing to point out is they did not graduate anyone.
Oh, okay.
They had the whole 10 back for this year.
Wow.
And we had graduated 5 starters
Yes.
from last year.
Yeah.
And so with high school sports, it can flip like that in a hurry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they had a great year, a great group of girls, and thank you too for doing that. That is it for right now. I would like to thank our sponsors, unless there's anything else you have, but I appreciate you coming in.
Thanks.
Our sponsors are Sunshine Foods, Papik Motors, Sunshine Gas, Real Estate Retrievers, Functional Nutrition, Luverne Area Community Foundation, and Pepsi of Pipestone. And again, thank you for coming by. I hope this wasn't too bad.
I survived, I think.
Yeah. Well, good. And right now it's time to load the bus, and we'll see you next time.